Hello and welcome back to another video in EssayMaster's Law School course. In this video, we're going to talk about your diversity statement. Let's dive right in. So just as we did with the personal statement, let's define what the diversity statement is. It's your chance to show law schools your background and how it has shaped you. But we always see more nuances in diversity statement prompts than personal statement prompts. So as always, check the prompt and make sure that what you're saying actually applies to the specific school. With that said, it's important to start by understanding something very important. It's not just that you are diverse, it's how being diverse has affected you. And just like before, asking the right questions will get you where you need to go. First, how are you diverse? Even if you are not diverse ethnically or nationally, you could be diverse in that you went to a public school when your peers went to a private school. Maybe you were a part of ROTC when no one else in your friend group was. Maybe you came from a low socioeconomic status while your peers did not. Or maybe you came from a rural part of the country while most of your friends came from the city. Just make sure that you think about this some and give it some thought. Second, what diverse aspect of you has most shaped your beliefs and values? For example, if you're raised Catholic, but it never really affected your perspective or your values, it's probably not worth talking about. And finally, what experiences reflect the impact your diversity has had? Showing a story will do better than just telling one. As you're writing this, keep in mind a few things. One, look past the obvious answer. So like I said earlier, yes, maybe you can write about by being diverse in terms of skin color or nationality, but you should at least do your due diligence and cover all your bases to make sure you found the most appropriate topic. Second, look past the facts. Just as how a resume answers who, what, where, when, and a personal statement answers how and why, your diversity statement isn't just that you are diverse, but how it's affected you. And finally, be personal. Like before, if you're superficial and impersonal in your description, you won't be compelling. On the other hand, don't turn your focus outside of yourself. We see a lot of people talking about what their parents or grandparents went through in their essay. And as quick context, that's fine. But remember, this is your story, not theirs. They may have survived some terrible events, but if you didn't experience them or aren't affected by them, it shouldn't be your focus. Second, just as with the personal statement, don't write what you think they want. While law schools certainly value diversity and a mix of voices, they don't want someone who doesn't truly care about their identity. And finally, don't write this just to write this. Though it's very common, for many schools, this essay is completely optional. If you're writing something just for the sake of writing it, it'll come across as inauthentic and disingenuous. Not every question needs to be answered, and so if after days of brainstorming you still can't come up with anything for this essay, don't bother. Less would truly be more here. Now, with all that said, let's take a look at a couple of examples to clarify what we mean here. Now, obviously, understand that these are all just snippets of your diversity statement, as such essays usually are about 1 page or so. With that said, take a look at this. Quote, I am diverse because I was a minority at my high school and college. As a Hispanic, I often felt small and underrepresented at my school. Because of this experience, I have learned to stand up for those who do not have a voice or who may feel unlike anyone else. Now, while the student does say diversity made him feel small and underrepresented, we're more interested in how diversity has affected your perspective, not just how it made you feel at the time. That could be part of the picture, but it can't be the entire picture. Second, there's just a lot of cliche language in here. Aside from the writer being Hispanic, we don't know anything that would distinguish them from anything else. And finally, quote, learn to stand up for others is too common an answer. Who are you standing up for? How will you stand up for them? How would you do so as a lawyer? These are specific questions that need specific answers. On the other hand, here's something that does work. It reads, quote, as an immigrant from Belarus, I barely escaped religious persecution and came to America with nothing. Though the events occurred a while ago, I am never far removed, and I am appreciative of constitutional rights for separation of religion. This has manifested itself in registering voters. Now, in the first sentence, we immediately establish this applicant is an immigrant, has at least some religious identity, and came to America broke. While this essay will work best with one focus, and the full essay does indeed focus only on being an immigrant, adding these details in a single sentence fleshes out the person well. Second, we understand how their perspective has evolved and shaped their present beliefs. Their appreciation of constitutional rights for separation of religion is a big deal, and it's very specific to this person with high stakes. Finally, they show an action that resulted from their perspective in registering voters. In the full essay, there's obviously more detail here, but this gives you a good sense of what worked for the diversity statement. And now, in our next video, we'll go over the last batch of most common essays, the addendum and character and fitness questions.